Welcome to Knowledge Base. We have another interesting question here. It says, which of the figures below represents three forces in equilibrium? We have figure 1, 2, 3, and 4. And our target is to determine which of these triangular forces represents forces in equilibrium. We are going to analyze them one after the other so we can determine the correct answer. So, join me as we analyze each of these figures. Let's start with figure 1. We have the forces shown in this direction, as you can see, and we want to tell if these forces are in equilibrium. Now, we will represent the forces to be acting on a point object, so we can tell if they can make that object remain in equilibrium. By equilibrium, we mean a state where the resultant force acting on the body is zero. So, we are going to draw the forces to be coming from a point source. Let's start with the 3 Newton force acting to the north. So this is the point source, or the object the forces will be acting on. 3 Newton is acting to the north. As you can see here, we have drawn it to the north. Then we see 4 Newton acting to the west. So let's draw 4 Newton acting on this object to the west. Now we have two forces acting on the object, one to the north and one to the west. It is expected that if this object is in equilibrium, the third force should be acting somewhat in this direction. That will be the force that will balance the system and keep it in equilibrium. So let's look at the third force, 5 Newton. Where is it acting? It's acting in this direction. So if we draw it, we have the 5 Newton force acting in this direction. Since the 5 Newton force is not acting like this, it means the object is not balanced or is not in a state of equilibrium. So the three forces acting on this object are not keeping it in equilibrium. You will agree with me that looking at these three forces, the point object will tend to move in this direction, which means it is not being balanced. Assuming this 5 Newton force was acting like this, then we will say that they will balance each other out and we can say the body is in equilibrium, which means number 1 is wrong. Now let's look at the number 2. Again, we start with the 3 Newton force acting towards the south. So we draw it from this point object. It is acting towards the south. The 4 Newton force is acting to the east. 4 Newton force acting to the east. Expectedly, we should have a balancing force or the resultant force, or sorry, the equilibrium force, the third force to be acting in this direction. Now let's check 5 Newton. Where is it acting? It's acting in this direction. Looking at this is very similar to this, which means that this object will not be in equilibrium, or these forces are not in equilibrium because the point object will tend to move in this direction overall. So we can say that the second one is equally wrong. The forces are not in equilibrium. Let's go to the next page. So we have the third triangular forces here, starting with the 3 Newton force acting on the object to the south, the 4 Newton force acting on the object to the east. The balancing force or the equilibrium should be acting in this direction. Here is our 5 Newton acting. Unfortunately, the 5 Newton is acting in this direction. Again, this does not represent a state of equilibrium. So option 3 is equally wrong. We look at the last one, the fourth one. The 3 Newton force is acting to the south, downward. The 4 Newton force is acting to the west, while the 5 Newton force is acting in this direction, which is this. So looking at this system, you will find that they are in equilibrium. The forces balance each other out. So you can see that this object will remain in equilibrium. So it means option 4 is the correct answer. So if we go back, we have these 4 options originally. 1 is wrong, 2 is wrong, 3 is wrong, but 4 is correct, and number 4 represents 3 forces in equilibrium. Now I have analyzed each of them to explain the concept, but if this was an objective exam and I don't want to waste my time, I wouldn't go ahead to be drawing the system of forces for each of them. There is a quick and easy way to go about it. Now listen to this. Forces in equilibrium, if you have a triangular system of forces like we have here, to determine if they are in equilibrium, the direction of the forces must be in order. Either they are in order clockwise or they are in order anti-clockwise. This is what I mean. Let's look at the first one. The 3 Newton force is acting like this. The 5 Newton force is acting like this, so they are moving in order. But instead of the 4 Newton force to act like this, so that you will see a complete anti-clockwise order, you have 3, 5 in order, but 4 is acting opposite. This means it is not in equilibrium. Let's pick this. 5 acting like this, 4 acting like this. Sorry, 3 acting like this, but 4 is acting opposite. This is not in order, so it is wrong. 5 acting like this, 4 in order, but 3 is against the direction, so this is equally wrong. But when you look at this, you see 5 acting in this direction, 3 in order, 4 in order, so you see an order of clockwise direction of the forces, which means this is in equilibrium, and hence it is correct. So without even putting figures, just with the arrows, you can tell which one is in equilibrium and which one is not. If this video was insightful, please endeavor to share it to others so that they would learn and enjoy our content on this page. If you are watching on YouTube and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And I want to thank you for supporting Knowledge Base. Keep watching our video, and we hope to see you in our next video.